brilliant of Queensland victories at the Carnival, and that's a good one for you, Tony. That's a big one. Antino won the Doomben Cup.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 359, and as always is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Today we're going to preview our Saturday runners Antino and Freedom Rally at Flemington, as well as our team of 8 runners at Doomben. But firstly, good morning and a big congratulations to Tony, soon to be inducted into the Queensland Racing Hall of Fame.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Claire. Yeah, it was certainly a big surprise.
Wait, I've got some tissues.
Very funny, very funny. Yeah, they got me. They definitely got me. They definitely surprised me. I had no clue it was happening, as you can tell by the footage if you see that. So, yeah, no, it was a big surprise. Very humbled, feel very privileged to be in that alongside, obviously, the people I idolised as a boy growing up. So, yeah, massive thrill. Now onwards and upwards to this Saturday's racing.
Well, just before we do, let's just have a little look at how the announcement went down at the stables last week.
Rider-horse combination, they get along really, really well. No fault of Ange's what happened to him first run at Caulfield. So I think getting out to the 1400, familiar face on board. Also his second go at Caulfield, it's a big positive.
Excuse me, Tony. Just come to let you know you've been inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame in Queensland.
You're joking.
Now, if you want to see the full video, it's up on the Racing Queensland website and the YouTube channel. The Hall of Fame inductions are part of the Queensland Thoroughbred Awards Gala lunch to be held on Sunday week on the 12th of October. Okay, a quick look back at Saturday, Tony. Transatlantic went close again, this time in the Group 3 Sandown Stakes, and we did have a good winner on Wheatwood Day at Toowoomba in Ludovisi.
Yeah, Transatlantic was very close. They ran a track record, I think, in that race. His run was excellent. He kept building and building and building, and you know, with a Toorak handicap point of view, which has been his main sort of Melbourne task in 2 weeks' time, I thought it was an ideal lead-up run. Even without winning, I still went away somewhat satisfied, somewhat happy, and Mark Zara's going to stick with him to ride him in the Toorak, and off that run there, you'd think the mile is absolutely ideal for him. Back in Toowoomba, it was a tricky day. We were thereabouts most of the day. Ludovisi got the job done for us, and I got a bunch of schoolmates. Went to school, it was a long time ago now, in that horse. So it was a really, really good win, and obviously ERC boys involved. But he was great. Ludovisi's come back. He's won two Saturday races now, last prep and then won this prep. He can go on with it this time of the year, and the rest of the meeting at Toowoomba was just, well, thereabouts without getting the rub of the green in certain races. But good to be back to normality, as I say now, with Saturday racing back here in Brisbane.
Okay, now on to our Saturday preview. We will start at Flemington for Turnbull Stakes Day, where the rail will be in the 9 metre position. The track is currently a good 4, and the forecast is for a fine race day, but with the possibility of some showers in the lead up.
Yeah, well, that's Melbourne. You know, sunny 1 minute, rainy the next, then back to sunny. Who knows? If you don't like the weather, hang around 15 minutes and it'll change.
Yep. Okay, race 8 is the Turnbull Stakes. It is a Group 1 run over 2,000 metres. Antino will run in this with 59 kilos. Blake Shin rides barrier 6. With Ladbrokes, he's paying $9.50 to win and $2.80 for the place. He is third up now, coming off 2 very good runs to start his preparation. Last start was 4th in the Group 1 Makybe Diva Stakes over this track at the mile.
Yeah, he's third up now. Where he starts to peak up in his preparation. We saw him third up in the Doomben Cup in the winter. And I think had we went another run after that, we would have seen him a little bit better again. And that's how he feels now. He feels as good as what he was Doomben Cup Day. He's right up to the mark now in his prep. He's had the 2 runs in, the Memsey, and then the much spoke about Makybe Diva race, obviously the slow speed and the sprint home. 3 weeks between runs into this, I've had an absolute perfect time with him. My preparation's been faultless. This is a hell of a good race. This is a really good Turnbull Stakes. You know, you got horse up, high up in betting in a Melbourne Cup. You got Caulfield Cup favourites, Cox Plate favourite. You know, it's a really, really good race. And this race, it's a proper Group 1 in its own right, and it certainly leads on to some of the really big Group 1s coming up throughout the spring. So it's a good race. I'm really happy with where we got him. He's got to be pretty close to the mark this weekend, as all these horses do going on to their big target, their next run. Yeah. And I'm no different. We're very happy with him. Yep. I'm really confident we can run top 3 here in what's going to be a really, really good race. I think you can back him each way with good confidence on Saturday.
Okay, lovely. Race 10 is the listed Paris Lane Stakes over the 1400 metres, a race you ran third in last year with Comrade Rosa, and this year we have Freedom Rally, who will carry 60 kilos with Declan Bates riding from barrier 6. He's paying $27 to win with Ladbrokes at the moment and $6.50 for the place. He is first up for his spring preparation. Plenty of work under his belt, including a couple of jump outs on his Melbourne leg at Cranbourne.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of work and I'm really happy with him. He's a little hiccup not running first up with a blood irregularity, which was only minor, and we got that right in a few days and just couldn't run in that race. And then his rhythm down there at Cranbourne's been great. He's loving out working on the sandhills. He's mixing his training up a lot down there. I think it's really helping this horse. So I'm very pleased with him. What do I expect for him first up? Well, in the autumn, I ran him first up in a Group 1. This is certainly back in grade. We've got to carry a little bit of weight for it. Declan Bates is riding in good form in Victoria. I thought if we could just have him anywhere midfield, something like that, maybe forward to midfield even where he's drawn, and just blending into the race. He represents good value, this horse. He's way over the odds. I expect him to run well but improve as we get him out in trip. Really want to train him to get the mile beyond this time round. That's what we've done with him, put a really good base under him. I expect him to run a nice race, but with that look at me from a mile plus, flashing light on him after it.
Okay. Now onto the preview of our runners back home at Doomben on Saturday. The rail will be in the true position and the track is currently a soft 5 and the forecast is for fine, warm, sunny days ahead.
Yeah, a bit of heat wave coming through here for spring. It's going to be quite warm this weekend, so it's going to be a good fast track, I'd say, at Doomben. Hopefully they've got plenty of water on it because it's going to be warm weather and good ground.
Okay. We kick off in race 4, which is the Class 2 plate over the 1350 metres. Boomshot will run 60 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides barrier 6. Boomshot's paying $6 to win with Ladbrokes and $2.35 for the place. Been okay without winning this preparation. Last start he flew home for 6 over this trip without threatening, and you've made some gear changes with the blinkers and tongue tie coming off. Yeah,
I've taken everything off him, just stripped him back to basics, mixed around his training a touch, and look, he's trying to trick him up a bit. He looks great. He's racing well without winning. I want to see him race well and win. Okay. So he's back to the right grade. There's nothing in this race with this horse that he's absolute best or puts his best foot forward that would worry him. It's just a matter of him doing that.
Okay, race 6 is the Class 3 plate over the mile. We have 2 runners in this. Make a Call is the first one, 60 kilos. Ryan Maloney, barrier 17. With Ladbrokes, he's paying $3.70 to win and $1.65 for the place. He's already had 2 wins this preparation. Last start was too strong, late to win over 1800 metres at the Gold Coast. Yeah, the barrier is a concern. He might have to run 1800 from where he's drawn, but Maloney rides him really well. He seems to really like Doomben. His runs at Eagle Farm have been average. I liked him going back to the Gold Coast the other day, and he ran accordingly. If this race, was the 9, we probably would have given him a breather. But he looks so well. He's so fit, so healthy. This is definitely the right grade for him. Ryan just got to give him another absolute pearler. He gave him the peach of a ride at the Gold Coast the other day on really good ground, and he sprinted so quick. And if he can manage to do the same sort of thing here, he's no doubt he can win. He's the right sort of horse for this grade of racing. Okay, the other runner we have in this is Chillaxing, and he'll carry 58.5 kilos. Daniel Moore rides barrier 3. He's paying $9 to win with Ladbrokes and $2.94 the place. Is first up and will be better off after this run as he steps up and trip. Has had a couple of jump outs at Deegan to bring him up to the mark. Yeah, I started him a little bit shorter. His jump outs and trials are the same. They just very much out the back and working home through the line. So I went straight to the mile with him just because it's the right grade of race for him. They run him off his feet in the shorter ones. Daniel will ride him well. I want to ride him with a future viewpoint in mind. I want to ride him with as we step him up in trip. That's when we get our business end of his preparation going. So he probably won't race as close as what he would when he gets over a little bit further. I just want to ride him a midfield to back sort of position to settle and run on. He can run well, but I suggest once we step him up to the 10 furlong, you'll see the right horse. So make a call, definitely.
Make a call, I think. I just hate the barrier. I'd love to have swapped their gates around, to be honest, but it is what it is. Okay.
Race 7 is the Colts, Geldings and Entires No Metro Wins handicap over 1350, and we have Great Aspirations running in this, carrying 56.5 kilos. Emily Lang takes the ride and they'll jump from barrier 13. With Ladbrokes, he's paying $12 to win and $3.50 for the place. Won 2 starts ago, then a few lengths from the winner last start at this track and trip.
Yeah, look, he's racing well. He's sort of getting around his mark, like a lot of these sort of horses are in this grade of race. He's a good up on speed, forward running horse. It'll depend on the tempo, how much pressure they put in. Em's a good barrier rider. She'll have him into a handy position. Real top 3 chance in these sort of races, every day of the week. But the winners of these no metros, if you had this race every week, you'd swap and change the winners. They're those sort of races. But at $12, he's a really good top 3-0.
Okay, race 8 is the benchmark 70 handicap over the 1110 metres. 2 runners in this. Surprise Honey will start with 58.5 kilos using Jace McMurray's 3 kilo claim, and they will jump from barrier 7. She's paying $6 to win and $2.35 for the place with Ladbrokes. She is coming off back-to-back Metro wins. Last start at the Gold Coast Pink Ribbon Race Day over 1,200 metres.
Yeah, she was terrific. She took it back to the midweeks. And she broke, I think it was nearly a class record, I think, but not a track record. It was a track or class record at Ipswich. She went fantastic. They went to the Gold Coast and just ran, scintillating again. She went along at a good gallop all the way. Second horse made good ground on a late, but she did it well. I thought this race would suit her with the claim. Jace McMurray goes on, changed riders. The last 3 races, we've had 3 different riders on her, but she's very adaptable like that. I think Jace's style will suit her. Gets here at 58.5. She gets to be able to sort of beat the handicap as such to get in this sort of race. Drawn well. It's a race with good pressure. She's just as adept at sitting in behind the speed as she is leading. She's not a one-trick pony. And I think she's really good around Doomben. I think her record around Doomben's not bad. So I think she races great here. I think she's really well placed.
Okay, race 8. The other runner we have in this race is Giliana. She'll carry 56.5 kilos. Emily Lang rides barrier 6. With Ladbrokes, she's paying $14 to win and $4.20 for the place. Stepping up in grade after an impressive win last start at the Sunny Coast over the 1,000.
It's funny how the market assesses things. These two weren't far away from each other at Ipswich, and Emily, even by her own admission, give her a pretty ordinary ride that day, and she wasn't far behind Surprise Honey. She ran 4th that day and should have clearly run 2nd. There shouldn't have been much between them. Surprise Honey's gone on then again and won on a Saturday. This filly went to the Sunshine Coast and got ridden outside lead. That's how the race transpired, which is not her favoured pattern, and still won quite well. So, both horses are in good form. There's a big disparity in market. I think she maps to get the perfect run for her here. It is a big jump from that 60 or 60, whatever it was, on a Sunday to this 70 on a Saturday. But if I go back to the midweek run, and if we give Surprise Honey a good chance, then we sort of half got to give Giliana a good chance as well.
Okay.
So it's a tricky one. I have Surprise Honey on top out of my 2, just because a confidence right up. But the other mare couldn't be going any better. And off a low draw and that sort of 4th, 5th, 6th in running type run on what looks to be a good speed from out wide. Geez, I think both these mares are going to run really well.
Okay. Race 9 is the benchmark 85 handicap over the 1110 metres. We have 2 runners in this one as well. We'll start with Hurt So Good, who's having a little nap at the back of the box there. He'll carry 60.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney riding barrier 12. With Ladbrokes, he's paying $11 to win and $3.70 for the place. He is second up on Saturday after a pass-marked first up at this track and trip in an on-speed dominated race.
Yeah, he just wants to get back to Eagle Farm's my only worry. I mean, Maloney will ride him really well. He's a right rider for him, and he'll be sort of, from where he's drawn, he'll be mid to back, I'd say, and running on. Just whether he's as good late in the day, he could become leaderish. If it does, it'll blow his chances because he wants to find his feet and run on. There's that sort of horse. Look, he'll run well. He's in good shape. He's working well. He looks well. But for me, he's a real Eagle Farm horse, and I just haven't had the races there for him. There's a lovely race for him coming up, but unfortunately we're at Doomben this week. I just think he's better across the road.
Okay, the other runner we have is Simbu, 56.5 kilos. Emily Lang rides barrier 9. He's paying $11 to win with Ladbrokes and $3.70 for the place. Deep into his preparation, that has brought a win in his past 4 starts within striking distance. Has been within striking distance of the winner. Last start finishing strongly on Pink Ribbon Race Day.
He was terrific at the Gold Coast. Yeah. Look, he jumped well, he drew awkward, he got into an awkward spot. He's just got a half awkward draw here again, but he is going good. Yeah. He was really good through the line the other day, and his record at Doomben is phenomenal. He hates Eagle Farm. They're the reverse, those two horses. Hurt So Good wants to be at Eagle Farm. Simbu wants to be at Doomben. I think he's well placed. I think it's a very open race, that race. They're going to go quite quick. It depends on how the pattern of that track's playing throughout the day. I think Simbu has enough tactical speed to take advantage, of the pattern, where I'm not sure Hurt So Good does. I think I'd have Simbu on top.
Okay.
And I think he looks and is racing really well.
We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at either Flemington or Doomben on Saturday?
I'll go with Surprise Honey. I just think the way we've been able to get her into that race with the claim and the benchmark, etc., and she's drawn quite good and she's just in a really good vein of form. I'll go Surprise Honey is my best chance.
Your best each way?
Yeah, Antino.
Antino?
Yeah, at Flemington.
Okay.
I think he's out to only $11 now. I can't see why he wouldn't run top 3.
Okay, your best at the provincials. We've got the Sunshine Coast on Friday, the Gold Coast on Saturday, and Toowoomba on Monday.
Well, we haven't got the acceptance out for the other 2 meetings, and the ones we have got the acceptance out for is the Sunshine Coast. I thought CK's Choice looked really well placed up there. You know, if she didn't win, she'd run top 3. And then we've got some really good chances down the Gold Coast. I think Bundella's going super here at the moment. He resumes down there in a 65. So we've got some nice chances throughout the weekend at the provincials. You can pay to follow us. Okay,
your best track worker this week?
Antino.
Antino.
Super happy with him. Vision of his work at Cranbourne. Everything about him's bang on. He's right where he needs to be.
Okay. Now it is time for Cavs Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. No go for either of Cavs' multi-legs last week on a very tough day in Toowoomba. Here he is with this week's stable multi.
Welcome to Cavs Corner for this week. No joy last week, but anyway, we'll go to Doomben this week. We'll go Boomshot a place into Surprise Honey a place. Brings you about $5 on for the dollar investment. Cheers.
So he's gone Boomshot a place into Surprise Honey a place. That seems fairly reasonable.
Place. I like it. I do like it. You know, Boomshot's chances will be just how he steps, but I think the addition of all that gear off him and Ryan going on, I think it's a big plus. I don't think that race is that. Certainly not beyond him. Class 2 plate. Okay. So, yeah, no, I like his multi this week. Place.
Okay. Well, good luck on Saturday, Tony, as the spring heats up, and then hopefully more success for Brisbane sporting teams on Sunday with the NRL Grand Final.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to the Lions last week. We give them a good shout out, and they were unreal.
They were.
And now for the Broncos. What a game was that last Sunday?
Yes.
I don't know how they managed to win it. And now for the Grand Final. So, best of luck to the Broncos.
Yes, definitely.
Brisbane, what a place to be right now.
Where would you rather be?
Absolutely nowhere. So, good luck to the Bronx on Sunday. We'll all be tuning in, and hope this time next week we're congratulating them.
Absolutely. Best of luck to everyone, and especially the Broncos over the weekend.